Assistant Professor, Department of Mathematics, to give a brief introduction about today's speaker. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Sujit. Good morning to one and all present here. Warm welcome to everyone. I have great privilege to welcome our resource person, Dr. S. Alamelu, Associate Professor, SDNB Vaishnav College for Women, Krompet, Chennai. Dr. S. Alamelu completed UG, PG, MPhil degree in mathematics and completed her PhD degree in Dravidian University, Andhra Pradesh in July 2016 with the research topic, a study on mathematical models for human stress effects. She has 22 years of teaching and 10 years of research experience. She has attended and presented research articles in various national and international conferences. She has published more than 10 articles in national and international journals. She has been the principal investigator and completed many research projects in the topic, a study on mathematical models for the abnormalities of HPA axis due to stress. She has received Certificate of Excellence and has been acted as a book reviewer, Operation Research textbook. She has been guiding other college MSc students for internship. She acted as a resource person for summer internship program and organized various faculty development program, guest lectures, workshop in SDNB Vaishnav College for Women. Last but not the least, she empowers her capable in doing administrative work in addition to teaching. She is serving as a proud post Deputy Controller of Examinations in SDNB Vaishnav College and also Swayam Coordinator, Member of Board of Studies, Member Academic Council Meeting, Research Coordinator and so on. Here I take pleasure to welcome you ma'am for our webinar. On my department behalf and my own behalf, I welcome you ma'am for our webinar in spite of your busy schedule and accepting our invitation. Welcome ma'am, the stage is yours.
Good morning everyone and thanks for the introduction. I'm grateful to the management. Yes. Am I audible ma'am?
Yes ma'am.
Okay. Yes ma'am. Thank you. I'm grateful to the management, principal of SRM Valiamai Engineering College for the opportunity given to me as a speaker for this national webinar on the topic applications of monotonic functions in modeling lifetime data. My sincere thanks to the head Department of Mathematics, all the faculty members of Mathematics Department and the organizing committee, Dr. Mrs. Vijay Lakshmi and her team, who is very much instrumental in bringing up this program. And my special thanks to all the participants who take time to join in this program. With the same enthusiasm and energy, I will drive you to the most expected segment of this webinar.
Once again, ma'am, participants, please mute yourself. It's disturbing. Excepting ma'am, please, all of you participants, please mute yourself.
Shall we start, ma'am? Okay, I'll share the screen. Please wait. Is the screen clear?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Applications of monotonic functions in modeling lifetime data. Here I'm going to share my approach in the modeling lifetime data in the field of medicine and reliability engineering. A monotone function is a function which is either entirely non-increasing or non-decreasing. And here a very interesting tool is L'Hospital rule for determining the monotonicity of the ratio of two functions. L'Hospital's rule provides a technique to evaluate limits of indeterminate form. And here we determine monotonicity for the ratio of two functions. For example, consider the function r of x is equal to sin x by x. And here we determine the monotonicity pattern for the function sin x by x on the interval 0, pi by 2. So let me take r of x is equal to some f of x by g of x, which is equal to sin x by x. And some in the interval 0, pi by 2, we have sin 0 is 0 and x is 0. So we get r of x is equal to 0 by 0, which is indeterminate form. So we are applying L'Hospital's rule to find the limit. So that rule we can differentiate the numerator and the denominator separately. So I'm writing r dash of x is equal to f dash of x by g dash of x, which is equal to differentiation of sin x, which is cos x, and the denominator is x. When we differentiate, we get 1. So that is equal to cos x. So r dash of x is equal to cos x. Now substitute the value 0, pi by 2. When x is 0, r dash of 0 is equal to cos 0, which is equal to 1. And when x is pi by 2, we get r dash of pi by 2 is equal to cos pi by 2, which is 0. So the function is decreasing. So f dash of x by g dash of x decreases on the interval 0, pi by 2. But here, we need to discuss the monotonicity ratio for the function r of x. So now, here we apply the Pillar's calculus rule to determine the monotonicity pattern for the function. The rule states that whatever monotonicity pattern exists for the ratio of derivatives, the same monotonicity pattern holds for the ratio of two functions. Here we have f dash of x by g dash of x decreases on the interval 0, pi by 2. So we can conclude f by g also decreases on the interval 0, pi by 2. Pillar's calculus rule is a very powerful rule and is widely used in lifetime data analysis. Life data can be the lifetime of products or a component of a machine, such as the time the product operated successfully. The probability distributions used in reliability engineering and life data analysis are commonly called the lifetime distributions. Many classes of lifetime distributions are very important to study about the reliability of systems. So let me give some basic utility notations and the symbols we use here. The distribution of a random variable is essentially characterized by the following functions, namely the survival function, or we can say it as a survival function or the reliability function, the probability density function for continuous distribution, and probability mass function when we discuss about the discrete distributions, and the failure rate function or the hazard rate function. Reliability theory is mainly concerned with the time pattern of survival probability of a machine or a system. The cumulative distribution function, denoted by capital F of x, which is the probability at which the system breaks down before reaching x. And mathematically, we give capital F of x is equal to integral a to x f of t dt, where small f of t is the probability density function. And the survival function or the reliability function is denoted as f bar of x, which is the probability that the system does not break down before reaching x. So it is denoted by f bar of x, and the formula for this is f bar of x is equal to integral x to b f of t dt. Now we are going to see the main important and interesting measures of reliability or the hazard rate function h of t, denoted as h of t, and the mean residual life function MRL. The hazard rate is a conditional probability in which the system or a machine has survived up to time t and will break down at t is given by h of t is equal to f of t by s of t. So we can use the notation for survival as s of t and the reliability as r of t. So f of t by s of t, which is equal to f of t by capital R of t, which is written as f of t by f bar of t, which is equal to small f of t by 1 minus f of t, because the survival function is a complement of the cumulative distribution function. So we denote the cumulative distribution function as capital F of t, and the complement is written as 1 minus f of t, which is the survival function f bar of t. So wherever it is necessary, we can change the notation as f bar of t or r of t or s of t or 1 minus f of t. We use in some part of application, we use the term reliability. So we use a notation capital R of t, and survival function, we use a notation as s of t. And the mean residual life function. Suppose, consider a subject of interest is of present age t. Assume the remaining life after t is random. The expected value of this random residual life is called the mean residual life, which gives the expected remaining life with the present age t, and is defined as mu of t is equal to integral t to infinity r of x dx by r of t. So r of x dx, or even we can change the notation as s of x or f bar of t. Some distributions tend to better life data and are commonly called the lifetime distributions. And now, we connecting the topic of the webinar, applications of monotonic functions in modeling lifetime data. The most powerful and widely used distribution is the Weibull distribution. It is used to test life and also used to estimate very low probability of failures. And this can be used for laboratory test data also. And now, we focus our attention on the measures of reliability. So the very important and interesting measures of reliability are the hazard rate function and the mean residual life function. Finding the shape of hazard rate does not require any special tools because it possesses a simple form and easy to calculate. We have the direct formula to calculate the hazard rate. If we consider a Weibull distribution whose hazard rate function is of the form h of t is equal to f of t by 1 minus capital F of t, on substituting the probability density function of the two-parameter Weibull distribution and the reliability function, we get h of t is equal to beta by alpha power beta into t power beta minus 1. Here alpha beta greater than 0. And now the interesting is finding the shape of hazard rate. So it is very clear that if your beta is greater than 1, the hazard rate h of t increases. And for Weibull distribution, if beta is less than 1, the hazard rate h of t decreases. And when beta is equals to 1, the hazard rate is constant. So see the graph. It's a sample for the Weibull failure rate with beta lying between 0 to 1, that is less than 1, and for beta is equal to 1, and for beta greater than 1. See, this curve represents the hazard rate for the Weibull distribution for beta less than 1. So assume the value as beta is equal to 0.5. So the hazard rate decreases when beta is less than 1. So we have the curve, it is decreasing. And for beta is equals to 1, as discussed, the hazard rate is a constant. So we have constant. And for beta greater than 1, the hazard rate increases. Finding the shape of hazard rate is very easy because we have the direct formula and we can substitute the density and the reliability function. We will get the hazard rate, and knowing the parameters, we can substitute and we can plot it in the graph so we can find the shape. But shape of mean residual life is difficult to derive explicitly. So we don't have any direct formula to find the shape of mean residual life. And therefore, we apply the Piller's calculus rule to find the shape of mean residual life function. So Piller's calculus rule is applied in many areas, and it's very interesting in the field of reliability engineering and in the field of medicine. Here, we focus our attention to find the shape of mean residual life by using the Weibull distribution. So we have the formula for mean residual life and is denoted as mu of t is equal to integral t to infinity r of x dx by r of t, which is written as integral t to infinity s of x dx by s of t. So as we say, we are going to apply the Piller's calculus rule. So we need to find the derivative of it. Now, mu of t is equal to u of t by v of t. So mu dash of t is equal to u dash of t by v dash of t, which is equal to, when you differentiate this, we get minus r of t over the limit t to infinity and divided by derivative of s of t, which is r of t, derivative is r dash of t. So we have the formula minus r of t by r dash of t, which is equal to 1 by h of t, because on substituting the survival and its derivative of the Weibull distribution, we get mu dash of t is equal to 1 by h of t. So the main condition is u dash of t must and v dash of t must exist, and the derivative of v of t must not be 0, and it does not change its sign. If these conditions are satisfied, we can apply the Piller's calculus rule. So here we obtain mu dash of t is equal to 1 by h of t. So it is very clear that when h of t increases, obviously 1 by h of t decreases. So our mu dash of t decreases. So whatever monotonicity pattern of the derivative, the same monotonicity pattern for the ratio of two functions. So whatever monotonicity pattern for u dash of t by v dash of t, the same monotonicity pattern holds for the ratio of two functions u of t by v of t. So we apply here and we say that when h of t increases, 1 by h of t decreases. So our mu dash of t decreases, and hence our mu of t also decreases. That is, shape of mean residual life decreases. If our h of t decreases, it is clear that 1 by h of t increases. So we can say mu dash of t also increases, and hence our mu of t increases. That is, the shape of mean residual life increases. So we have hazard rate and the mean residual life function are inversely related to each other. So if we know the shape of the hazard rate, on applying the Piller's calculus rule, it is very easy to find the shape of the mean residual life function. So that is, it is inversely related. When our hazard rate increases, mean residual life decreases. If the hazard rate decreases, mean residual life increases. Weibull distribution can be used to model a variety of life behaviors. And here, we finish our discussion by finding the shape of hazard rate function and mean residual life function for the medical data by applying the Weibull model. Stress and brain. Hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis is a major part of the system that controls reaction to stress, And here we observe the response of the system over time due to stress. The prominent psychologist Selye's findings about human stress effects are adopted, and the concept of Selye's theory is applied. So main thing is the stress effect is cumulative. That is, the effect of stress accumulates over time. So the deterioration over time. So we are choosing the Weibull model here. Slow deterioration. Even we can test the low probabilities of failure. Stress body shape. We take this as a subject and we discuss and we apply the hazard rate function formula and the mean residual life function, and we see the practical applicability of Piller's calculus rule. Because we have used the Piller's calculus rule or we applied the L'Hospital's rule for finding the limit of a function. So here our approach is different. That is, we apply the same thing in the application part and that too in the medical area. So I'm going to give a real application of stress-induced cortisol response for the participants with central fat and with peripheral fat. So mainly the participants are women. Central fat is abdominal obesity and with peripheral fat. And we assume that to develop the model, to formulate the model, we need certain assumptions. The subject is exposed with a number of stresses. And we see that the stress effect is a source for increase in cortisol levels. And the medical findings and many of the medical research prove that stress-induced cortisol secretion is consistently greater among women with central fat. Cortisol is a hormone. Greater life stress and stress reactivity contribute to central fat among lean women. The hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis. Hypothalamus is a region of the brain. Pituitary just beneath the brain, and the adrenal axis located at the top of the kidneys. So HPA axis is called a stress circuit. So here we define the response of cortisol for the participants. End of discussion. Excessive central fat, and medical research proved that excessive central fat puts one at greater risk of disease. Overexposure to cortisol can have pathophysiological consequences on many organ systems. So these are the results proved by medical research. And now, the participants are classified into two categories. That is, greater central fat and greater peripheral fat. So we come to the application part, and here we are finding the shape of hazard rate function and the mean residual life function for stress-induced cortisol response for the participants with greater central fat and greater peripheral fat. So on substituting the data, we get when time increases, the hazard rate increases. As time increases, hazard rate increases. This graph shows the hazard rate for the participants with central fat and for the participants with peripheral fat. And medical results says that stress-induced cortisol secretion is consistently higher for women with central fat. Now, see, the hazard rate is higher for women with central fat than for the women with peripheral fat. And now, the Pillis states that whatever monotonicity pattern for the ratio of the derivative, the same monotonicity pattern holds for the ratio of the two functions. So here, when hazard rate increases, mean residual life decreases. And hazard decreases, mean residual life increases. So now, here, we are finding the mean residual life function for both the participants, that is the participants with central fat and for the participant with peripheral fat. See, in the figure 1, the hazard rate is more for the participants with the central fat than for the participant with the peripheral fat. The mean residual life is lesser for the participants with the central fat than for the participants with the peripheral fat. As hazard increases, see this blue line represents for the participants with the peripheral fat. The mean residual life decreases. This curve represents the mean residual life function for the participants with the peripheral fat. And this curve represents the hazard rate for the participants with central fat. Here the participants with central fat. This curve shows the mean residual life function for the participants with central fat. So it is very clear that as hazard increases, mean residual life decreases. So we must not keep ourselves in a stress condition because stress affects. It's a force or an event which has an effect on our body or a mind. So let's be stress free, and particularly in this situation. And the result shows that it is very clear. So our finding coincides with the medical result. That is, stress-induced cortisol secretion is consistently higher for women with central fat than for the women with peripheral fat. And it is proven that excessive central fat puts one at greater risk of disease. And overexposure to the cortisol hormone can have pathophysiological consequences on many organ systems. The graph shows that the hazard rate increases and the mean residual life decreases. Here we have applied Weibull and a parameter beta is greater than 1, so the hazard rate increases. If we have data for beta less than 1, you can say the hazard rate decreases. For some situations, we can apply for it and we can see whether the hazard rate increases or the decreases. And it is obviously clear from the shape of the parameter beta. When beta is greater than 1, hazard rate increases, and when beta is less than 1, hazard rate decreases. And beta is equal to 1, the hazard rate is a constant one. And we use the Weibull data not only for the failure data, we can use it for the degradation data. So here we formed the model by using the hazard rate function, and we have applied the Pillis calculus rule for finding the mean residual life function. That is the shape of mean residual life function. So when we discuss about the degradation data, so we can model it by using the product of two positive functions. So degradation data, so we can find the reliability estimate even for the degradation data, that is, it is deteriorating over time. So there we can model degradation data as a product of two positive functions, and then there also we can check, that is, we can find the relationship between the hazard rate and the mean residual life function. So in many cases we can say the hazard rate and the life expectancy are inversely related. The shape of mean, if the hazard rate increases, MRL, mean residual life, decreases. So the result shows that the stress-induced cortisol affects a greater level for women with central fat than with the peripheral fat. So it is very clear from the results obtained that the hazard function and the mean residual life function are inversely related to each other. As time increases, hazard also increases during stress. And the graph shows that the corresponding mean residual life decreases. And related data fitted with the model and the results coincide with the medical findings. When we compare with the other distributions, so exponential distribution is a general form of the variable distribution, because when we substitute beta is equal to 1, here we have the shape of the hazard rate function, or the formula for the hazard rate function for the variable distribution is h of t is equal to f of t by r of t, which is equal to beta by alpha per beta into t power beta minus 1. When beta is equals to 1, when we substitute beta is equals to 1 in the density function, so we will get as an exponential distribution. So beta is equal to 1, the hazard rate is constant. So for an exponential distribution, the hazard is constant. So even though it is a continuous distribution, so to model the data, we prefer variable distribution because it is very easy to calculate, and also we can find the low probability of failures. So on applying the Piller's calculus rule in the formula for the hazard rate, so we obtain the shape of mean residual life function, and we have considered the result proven by the medical research, and we applied here, and we say that the data is fit with the model and the results coincide with the corresponding medical findings. And these are the references used. So we can have a series of Piller's calculus rules paper, and that is given in the reference number 567. For the literature, we can do stochastic processes by Shelton Rose and Warlow Proshen, Honey Proshen, and for reliability engineering, LCL. Thank you. Now it's a discussion session. Ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Now the is to
Participants can post your questions in the chat box.
Ma'am, I have a question, ma'am.
please, ma'am.
Ma'am, in your research work, you have done with some medical related, right, ma'am? Now, I think now it is in COVID situation we are here. Can you ever tried that this virus in your, are you trying, ma'am, this, how the virus will affect, are you trying and working in that, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, I'm finding the research papers related to that COVID data and working on it.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Mainly, I'm using the Gompertz distribution because for biological data, Gompertz distribution, it is a very powerful model to use it. So for reliability engineering, we can use the variable model. Even for biological data, we can use a variable model, and especially Gompertz distribution also we can use it. So I'm working with the Gompertz distribution.
Okay, fine. Okay, ma'am, thank you, ma'am.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, actually, we have normally modeling, we can do it either by statistical or a differential equation or fuzzy.
Okay.
But my question is, when you take one real-time problem, the same problem we are doing supposed to be in statistics, any distributions, or we are the same problem we are doing supposed to be in differential equation. What is the advantage and disadvantage? Is it possible to the same concept we can extend to nutrosophic or intrinsic? Is it possible?
No, the advantages is actually here we are giving the medical, then we measurements, that is the reliability measures. So how the hazard rate will be. Suppose if the person is having stress for a long time, so that is, and that too here we are applying during the stress period, we are monitoring the response. So during the stress period, so not beyond the stress and not before the stress. Initially, because we consider all the participants as a non-depressed one, so they are very healthy one. So without any background of illness. So the participants are considered like that. And we have that we are finding for the response during the period of stress. So that therefore it is a better model to use because and it is also used slow deterioration. So preferably we use a variable model. And for this growth rate and all, we can use a differential model. So it varies from the concept to concept. And how we apply and what we apply.
Is it possible to extend in nutrosophic?
I have not worked with that. So let me check.
Okay.
Any other discussion?
Ma'am, I have one question.
Please, ma'am.
You have used both distributions in the presentation, isn't it, from exponential and variable?
Okay.
What is the differences between exponential and variable distribution which you have applied here, ma'am?
Yeah. See, suppose when the system or a device fails due to a sudden shock, we can use the exponential distribution. That is rather due to the slow wear and tear. So the exponential is used to model its time to failure, to find the time to failure. But in situations where failure is due to slow deterioration over time, we can use a variable distribution. So that becomes a more appropriate model. And also the hazard rate for the exponential distribution is constant. So let me share the screen. Because while we apply the probability density function of the variable distribution and we substitute beta is equals to 1, so we get an exponential distribution. So there the hazard rate, once again, let me share the screen and we'll explain mathematically also. See here, h of t is equal to beta by alpha bar beta into t bar beta minus 1. So when we substitute beta is equal to 1, we get anything per 1 minus 1 is, that is t bar 0 is 1. So we get 1 by lambda, which is nothing but it's a constant. Sorry, 1 by alpha, which is a constant. So the hazard rate becomes constant when we apply the exponential distribution because the hazard is constant for the exponential distribution. And for the variable distribution, so where the situation, that is the failure is due to slow deterioration over time. Because my study is I have taken the interest is I'm observing the measures during the period of stress. So and stress actually it slowly deteriorates the body functions or the functions of the organisms. So organs. So therefore we use the variable distribution and we consider it as a more appropriate model. And main thing is the failure rate for the hazard rate is a constant. For every exponential distribution is constant. So if we have constant failure rate, we can apply exponential distribution and we can model the exponential distribution.
Okay, ma'am. Sides. Any other question from participants? You may post your question in the chat box. Or unmute and ask. Any other questions from Audience?
Ma'am, I have a doubt, ma'am.
Please.
Ma'am?
Yes.
Yeah, ma'am, actually, when you are doing your research work, have you taken any specific specimens from the, I mean, you collected the cholesterol rate, right, ma'am? That is what your fat rate only you are talking about, right, ma'am? So, have you taken any samples and then you done with your research activity, ma'am?
I have taken a secondary data and given it in the reference.
Okay.
Coincide, because I'm saying that my approach is that coincides with the medical result. So the
Okay.
data is fitted, and we develop a model and that coincides with the medical result, and we can predict the measures also. So it's a secondary data.
Okay, fine, fine. Yes, ma'am. Good, nice, ma'am. It's a good that you are working with the lifetime data and you are doing it. Fine.
Question, one more question from the friends, ma'am.
Yes.
Where to use survival function and in which context our reliability function be used in the terms?
Okay. So when we deal with the biological systems, we can use the term survival function or the survivor function.
Oh,
We deal with the components of a machine. So we can, in reliability, in the field of in reliability engineering, we can use the term reliability engineering. Or anyway, we can use either the survival function or the reliability function or the complementary cumulative function. Because that is the machine, it survives beyond the specified time t. So that's the survival time.
okay. From the participants regarding modeling, those who want to do research in modeling, any other questions from the participant side?
Okay. I can just.
Ma'am,
Yes,
see
please,
the chat box. Is there any questions in the chat box?
I'll check it, ma'am. And
Ma'am, one question
I
has been posted. Is
Okay.
that variable model helpful in taking angiograms?
taking angiograms, see, that is actually, so what is our aim to find? Suppose we are finding the response over the time, we can use the Weibull because it's a very powerful live data analysis. We can try the Weibull model also. Because if we have the time, if it is due to that is we are discussing about the time. So at particular time, so this is a measure. At the particular time, that is a measure. So we can predict it over time. This can be used.
That question posted from Batmavati Sivaramakrishnan, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other questions, ma'am, from the participants?
And related to the topic, so we can model by using the degradation hazard function. That's a product of two functions. So one is, for example, we can take the degradation we can write the degradation, because when we come to the mathematical analysis, we can write it as a degradation function d of x comma t as some product of two function or of g of x and q of t. G of x is the degradation measure and q of t is the time. So if we have the data of slow deterioration over time or the degradation data, so we can find the reliability estimate by using this model. D of x comma t is equals to g of x into q of t, and it's quite interesting. So the same, again we can use a Apellis calculus rule, and then we can connect it with the analytic functions, univalent functions, and we can compare the distributions by the stochastic dominance, stochastic orderings. So I have shared only a little bit. So if we discuss about the stochastic dominance, first order dominance, they be used to compare the distributions. Suppose we have a two, that is, if our lifetime follows two distributions, one is F, the other is G. We can compare the two distributions by using the stochastic dominance, and then we can connect it with the subordination also in complex analysis. So we can develop, so there are more ways with this as a fundamental, and we can develop the research. So in degradation, even when we use the degradation data, see we can easily bring the relation as hazard rate and mean residual life function. So it is inversely. So we can say the hazard rate and the life expectancy are inversely related.
Okay, ma'am. Any other questions, participants? Questions coming in WhatsApp group as well as in the chat box. Any other questions from the participant side? No? If you have, you may unmute and ask. Okay.
So there are so many mathematical models researchers have worked using the COVID data. So we can also check with that. So that's also quite interesting. And as one of the professors asked, differential equations is very well applied there. Given some references also.
Okay. From here, what are the parameters you are using for variable distribution, ma'am?
Scale parameter and shape parameter. So alpha is the scale parameter and beta is the shape parameter.
Oh,
so
alpha, beta.
Yes, alpha, beta, both greater than 0. Since for my data, beta is greater than 1, so therefore we have the hazard rate increases.
Okay.
Scale parameter is, it scales the value of the HT. That is, it stretches or contracts the failure distribution. So along the x-axis. So therefore it's a scale parameter. And variable shape parameter is also known as the variable slope. Here we have used the parameters alpha and beta. Scale and shape.
Okay. Any other questions from the participant side? No. Okay. Ma'am, shall we move to the next session, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You can proceed.
Sujit, thank you, ma'am, for your valuable speech. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Sujit, over to Sujit.
Sujit,
May I proceed?
Sorry, correct?
it is Sujit. Sujit,
Ma'am, can I?
Yes, ma'am.
So even we can use the cumulative because the very interesting fact of cell is the effect of the stress accumulates over time. That is, the stress effect is cumulative. So we can use a cumulative damage model. There we can use the Poisson process and then we can develop the model. So that leads to a better conclusion and results also. So the cumulative damage model or NML processes, so we can work with that.
Nice, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Over to Sujit.
Yes, ma'am. May I proceed?
Yes, Sujit, you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am, for spending your valuable time with us and rendering your perspectives. It was really nice in sharing space with you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For your patience and caring, kind words and sharing, Mr. M. Sundarakannan, Assistant Professor, Department of Mathematics, is here to propose a vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, all. I think exactly 12 of us. So, good morning as well as good afternoon. As of all things come to end in life, so it's the seminar. On behalf of the mathematics fraternity of the SRM Valiam Engineering College, I take this opportunity to propose a vote of thanks to those who have directly and indirectly contributed to this seminar organized by our department. First of all, I would like to thank our management, principal sir, vice principal sir, for the conducting to give the permission to do this webinar successfully. At the outset, I thank our chief guest and resource person, Mrs. Alamelu ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. We are really enlightened with your knowledge and presence. Thank you so much once again, ma'am. We are thankful to our beloved head of the department, Dr. S. Chitra, for her motivation and guidance. Also, I thank our department association, Euler.com, coordinator, Dr. B. Vijayalakshmi, and on this webinar, event coordinator, E. Karpagam, assistant professor, Department of Mathematics, for their unflinching support and coordinations. I would like to thank my colleagues for this enthusiastic support. A special thanks to the students, the student coordinators of this webinar, Jagan and Sujit, for their greatest support. And our heartfelt thanks to all the participants of our active participation, especially Dr. H. Krishnan, Physics sir. Thank you so much, sir, for your kind support. With these warm words and a kind message, we move to the end of this today's seminar. Thank you once again. Thank you all. Thank you so much. Over to Sujit.
Thank you so much, sir. Dear participants, the feedback link has been posted in the chat box. Kindly fill it. I repeat again, the feedback form has been posted in the chat box. Please do fill it and you may leave the meeting. Thank you.
A special thanks to Jagan and Sujit, student coordinators, and we need your support.
Our support will be
Okay.
there, ma'am. Definitely, definitely. You don't have to tell us. We will be always
We
there.
have been associated. We have just taken class only up to second year, but up to final year you are supporting us like anything, and we are very much proud to be associated with you people. God bless you, my child. Jagan and Sujit.
Thank you, ma'am. Pleasure is us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Hello, Annie.
Ma'am, thank you so much for your nice presentation and accepting our invitation also, ma'am. On behalf of Mathematics Department, thank you so much, ma'am. Your presentation is very nice and very, it's very clean. Perfect, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thanks for the opportunity given also. I thank everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Almela ma'am. Being Sunday, everybody has one day off only nowadays. In April, May and all, everybody having the leave, but now college started for everybody. So in that, this 1 hour session, participants also make a time to spend with this. It's very thing. So thank you all. So short and sweet program, very nice, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So, ma'am,
The feedback form.
any feedback from student participants?
Yeah, they are all sending. They are just sending in the chat box. Thanks sir, for all the participants. They are sending. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
They are
you.
sending
Thank you. Yes.
valuable presentation.
Thank you, ma'am. Can I leave the meeting?
Yes, ma'am. Vijay, ma'am.
Can we conclude it, ma'am?
Yes, we can conclude.
Is the resource person asking to leave the meeting? Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah, ma'am. She can, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you,
Thanks for
ma'am.
your valuable lecture.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. And
Vijay, ma'am.
Vijay,
Ma'am.
I think our staff can also leave, no, ma'am? Our department staff.
Yes, ma'am.
You yourself and Jagan, are you there, Jagan?
Yes.
Okay, Jagan, Sujit, I think you can take care of the remaining activities.
Yes,
Shall
ma'am.
we leave then?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. ஒரு நாள் தான் half எல்லாமே ஃப்ரீயா இருங்க. Thank you,
Okay,
ma'am.
thank you so much special thanks to the coordinators team.
Thank you, ma'am.
Happy. And today evening 4 o'clock we all meet with Dr. Isayarsi, madam.
ஆமா ma'am, like this short and sweet 1 hour we have to finish everything.
All the best, ma'am. We'll be there with
Thank you.
We are going to be there with you to support you
Thank
behind
you.
the scene.
Always. Our department coordination will be there in all aspects.
Yes,
It's
ma'am.
a proud moment to us. No, we are conducting and we are presenting one day 20 and 20 in 2020. This 20th September is a good day for us. Fine. And I got a wishes from principal sir. I want to share with you people. All the best, Potrikar sir Kalila. I just informed him. He said, "Go ahead, all the best."
Okay.
Okay, Vijay ma'am. I'll just take a leave with your permission.
Okay, ma'am.
Wonderful
Okay.
session. Thanks for that.
Nice.
For your efforts. And Sujit and Jagan, special thanks you to Pa for the support you are extending from your first year.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Not only this year, in
From-
years to go, whether they are in the college or not, they are going to support us.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's what I asked
என்னோட
Sujit.
introduction எப்படி இருந்தது ma'am? Introduction to chief guest நல்லா இருந்ததா?
எல்லாமே நல்லா இருந்தது, எக்ஸலண்டா போச்சு. All superb. All superb. Always see, every year we'll conduct national seminar in the November and December, right? This time we have organized national webinar. That's it.
That's all.
So we'll start. We have just initiated. It is going to be continued. Fine. I'll take a leave then. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Say, ma'am, we'll meet in the evening. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, staff and participants.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Jagan and Sujit. Bye.
Madam, kindly provide a feedback link.
Oh,
Sir, feedback link posted in WhatsApp group also, sir, and also chat box.
Are you there in the WhatsApp group, sir? Otherwise, again you post it, ma Jagan. Otherwise, if again post.
No, madam.
I will again post it in the chat box.
Yeah, he is again posting it, sir. Please.
So it's there in the chat box, sir.
No, already it has went. ரொம்ப போயிருக்கோ தூரமா. எல்லாரும் thank you போட்டதனால தூரமா போயிருக்கோம். Again post பண்ணுங்க இன்னொரு வாட்டி.
I will do it, ma'am.
Yeah. I posted, ma'am. I posted.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
Madam, post one more time, madam, please.
One more. Just now I posted, sir.
Sir, it has been posted, sir. See, it's available.
Okay, sir.
Ma'am, it will be there for how much time, ma'am?
Half an hour, ma'am. More than half an hour it will be there.
Okay, it will be there. It is going to be in WhatsApp group also. No, then it's fine.
So, ma'am, shall we end the session, ma'am?
Yeah, you
Okay.
can. But yeah, you can end.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
5 to 10 minutes will be in the meeting.
Thank you, Sujit and Jagan. You can leave now because you have your own classes. Fine.
Yes.
Today
It's
also.
already over, ma'am. We have lunch.
Thanks for supporting.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks for supporting. Anna.
Anytime.
I don't want to say thanks because you all belong to mass.
Yes.
Oh, thanks.
Anytime. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kanna. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sujit and Jagan.
Thank you.
Welcome, sir.
Shall we leave, Vijay ma'am?
Okay, yes, ma'am. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you all.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Fine.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Welcome.
Next day, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you so much. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome, ma'am.
விஜி மேம் ஃபீட்பேக் ஃபார்ம் நம்மளாம் ஃபில் பண்ணணுமா என்ன நாங்க விஜி மேம் சார்
நம்மலாம்
என்எஸ்கே சார்
வேண்டாம்ப்பா.
நம்மளாம் ஃபில் பண்ணல தேவையில்ல ஓகே
நம்ம கிடையாது. நம்ம ஆர்கனைசர் நம்மளுக்கு கிடையாது.
ஓகே ஓகே மேம்
மீட்டிங்ல எத்தனை பேர் இருக்காங்க பாரு.